Carolinian. That's where I got that confused. A'ja Wilson, the 6'4" rookie center, the number 1 pick overall in the WNBA draft. Nia Coffey, Kayla McBride, Lindsay Allen for the Aces, and of course your normal starting 5 of Bird, Lloyd, Stewart, Clark, and Howard for Seattle. And we are underway. Seattle basketball to start things off. Good crowd here on a Thursday night in the Emerald City. High-low looking to Breanna Stewart on the much smaller Lindsay Allen, pinning her down on the deck. Nicely executed there, Elise.
Find the mismatch, hit your target, and that's exactly. Good pass over the top of the defense to Stewart.
Here's Park inside, swatted by Breanna Stewart, out of bounds. Jisoo Park with some very impressive international stats. How about this? Played on the FIBA U17 World Championship team as a 13-year-old and averaged near a double-double. So she has been a prodigy for about 7 or 8 years. Here's Allen. Long distance jump shot way off the mark and out of bounds. Seattle basketball.
So Las Vegas is 0-3. They haven't played a lot of games. Seattle has already played 5. They're still searching for that first win. They're a team that you would imagine early on is going to doubt themselves if you put up a big first quarter. That's why this quick start will be key for Seattle.
Tough schedule for the Aces as Sue flings it up and misses. The Aces have faced, as you mentioned, 3 teams. 3-0, 5-1, and 4-1 are the records of the teams that the Aces have played. They played Seattle, Connecticut, and Washington. Here's Alicia Clark trying her hand. Second, third opportunity for Seattle, and they're up 5-0.
Alicia Clark has come out of the gate this season and really shot the ball well. She's over 50% from deep, and you see why right there. Just a little hesitation, the ball fake on the skip pass from Bird, and then she knocked it down.
Here's McBride with it. Back down to the number 1 overall pick. Swatted by Breanna Stewart. 2 blocks for Breanna. She's gotten both centers thus far in this game. Here's Lloyd trying her hand at a triple. Look out, Bill Namir may need a quick TO. It is 8-0 Seattle.
And that is the weapon. You look at the 3-point shooters for Seattle. Breanna Stewart hasn't started to heat up from deep, and neither is Sue Bird, but Jewel Lloyd at 44%. She's been red hot.
Wilson double team, kick it back out to Allen. High catch. Now Corrals back to Wilson. Catch and fire good, and the Aces are on the board.
Yeah, that was a pretty shot. Quick release for A'ja Wilson, the natural lefty. Just turning and shooting it before the defense even had time to react.
Sue, great slip of the pick by Breanna Stewart, goes right to the rim.
The timing is so key on that play. Breanna Stewart just using the defense. They rest for just a half of a second, and she blows by him.
McBride, skip pass over the top. Now Allen tests her hand to the long-range jump shot, way off. She's missed 2 badly today. Here's Sue with it on the run. Defense gets back. Sue back to Breanna. Good look at a triple, a little flat and off the back iron, tipped around. Natasha Howard couldn't grab it. Instead, it's Lindsay Allen's basketball for Vegas. Spinning in the lane, kicking it back. Ball partially deflected, and Coffey's got it. Again, hands on the basketball as Park has it. Seattle very active on defense thus far today. Forcing up a shot, and the foul will be Coffey, and she'll go to the free throw line for 2. But you got to like what you see from both ends of the floor right now for Seattle.
Well, especially Breanna Stewart. She has really used her length in this first almost 3 minutes to set the tone. She's got a block on Wilson. She's got a block down low. There's another one for Breanna Stewart, just getting her arms up, using her length. She even poked a ball away. So she's really doing her job defensively.
And the ovation you hear for the local legend, number 10, standing next to her idol, number 10. Kelsey Plum coming into the game.
Kelsey Plum, while she was at the University of Washington, would come over here and scrimmage with the Seattle Storm. They know her game, and she proved in college she could play at this level. The number 1 overall pick last year had a really significant ankle injury, and it derailed her till late in the year when she really started to play well.
Bird for 3, snapping it home, and it's 13-4. We actually have the last 4 number 1 overall picks playing in this game, with Wilson and Plum over the last 2 years, and then Breanna Stewart and Jewel Lloyd in 16 and 15.
Hard to believe Jewel Lloyd's in her 4th year.
Yeah, it really
wow.
is. Driving baselines, Coffey, shot blocked, and we've got an offensive foul. She knocked over Alicia Clark. It was a little worse for wear as she gets up. Maybe got the wind knocked out of her a little bit. Let's take a look at this here. Oh, yeah. Right in the sternum.
Just lowering the shoulder and until Alicia Clark. She's so tough. Alicia Clark, she hit the 3 to start the game, and I know a lot of fans look in the box score to see how valuable a player is, but Alicia Clark is the one down the stretch you put on the best score to slow him down. She's the one that'll grab a keyboard. She's the one that'll post up a smaller guard. She does so many different things for this team.
Here's Lloyd around to Brianna screen. Oh, beautiful finger roll layup by Jewel Lloyd.
And right now, Seattle's offense is executing at a really high level. If you are not going to cut off Jewel Lloyd on the dribble, she's really explosive. She's going to go all the way to the rack and so graceful on that last take.
Coffey with some quickness driving in, but loses handle of the basketball. Seattle 6 of 8. Jewel Lloyd with the most recent basket.
Just going around the defense, finishing with that right hand. One of the best athletes in this league, no question, and showing why on that move.
Plum guarding Bird. Now Lloyd just feeling it right now. Jewel Lloyd, you cannot stop her. She is 3 for 3. She's hit 2 triples. She's got 8 points.
And she's going for the 5th straight game of 20 points or more.
Wilson in, out, and back in again as Asia Wilson's on the board. Her 4th point, actually, 2 of 3 from the field.
She, right now, has a WNBA body and a WNBA game. And Asia Wilson, 19 points per game through her first 3.
Another slip screen, this time on the far side. Alicia Clark gets it from Brianna Stewart, and Seattle doing anything they want to do offensively against the worst defensive squad in the WNBA.
And Bill Lambier getting up off the bench after that last bucket. Not happy with the defense.
Well, the Aces, and here's a 3 ball. They can score, though. There's no question about that. Kayla McBride with the 3, and the Aces have allowed 100 points already twice this season. Here comes the basketball, saved by Brianna Stewart before it was in your lap.
Well, Sue Bird, that's just so uncharacteristic. She's only had 5 turnovers all season. Nearly a turnover there, but 22-5 assisted turnover ratio.
Stewart, pump fake, now the pull up from 15. Everything going in for Seattle. But the reason is they're getting great shots and they're sharing the basketball.
Yeah, this looks good. This is not the slow starting Storm team that we've seen. They're 4-1 this season, but they have had a habit of starting slow and working themselves out of a hole. Well, today they came out sharp so far.
They certainly have on offense and on defense. 4:20 left to go in the first quarter. Running layup attempt is no good. Snatched down by Natasha Howard. Here comes Sue on the hippity hop, crossing the timeline, giving it off to Jewel Lloyd. Lloyd jabs right, goes left. Now back to the right side. Can she still feel it? Yes, she can. Jewel Lloyd is unconscious right now. 4 of 4, 11 points. She's outscored the Aces by 3.
Oh, Jewel, she is absolutely on fire right now. She's in the zone where everything she puts up right now, she thinks is going in the hole.
Seattle shooting 83% and are up 17. Hey, Storm fans, join us for the Kaiser Permanente free community practice hosted by the city of SeaTac at Seattle's South Side at Seattle Christian School in SeaTac, July 12th at 6 o'clock. Meet the players, win prizes, and more. Visit stormbasketball.com/community practice to learn more. Dick Fay and Elise Woodward just watching an absolute masterpiece by the Seattle Storm here in the first 6 minutes of play. 25-8 shooting, 83% from the field. Vegas ball, Kelsey Plum with it. Fakes the shot, now moves in, leans in for some contact. Kelsey's so good at that, and she will go to the free throw line. And this hot shooting, Elise, really nothing new. They struggled in the opener. They shot 38%, but during their 4-game winning streak, they've been shooting 47%, and against Vegas, they shot 52% and hit 12 threes, so they're really warming up in this winning streak.
Well, I think they needed to get used to a new system with Dan Hughes, and there's a lot of changes. Look, basketball is basketball. It's pick and roll, it's pick and slip, it's movement, but each coach has their own stamp of what they want to do. And you would imagine in the first game, they've been a slow starting team, and they've heated up. And for them, it's right now the best of the best. 25 points with 3.5 minutes to go. Their season high in any quarter is 31, set at Phoenix. So they're on pace right now to have their best quarter of the year right now.
Clark thinks about a 3, goes into Howard. Howard, mano a mano. Now get back to Sue Bird. Around Plum. She throws it up with 1 on the shot clock. No good. Good defense that time by Vegas. Their best stop of the game. One of their only stops of the game. Here's McBride from behind the arc. Too strong. Tipped around and Seattle ball. Sue on the push. One-on-one on Plum. Nice bounce pass Clark and a good strip by Kayla McBride. Out of bounds Seattle.
Well, I was impressed on the previous possession. How about Kelsey Plum blocking out Natasha Howard? She's given up a half a foot, and yet she got in front and was able to be physical. The former Husky doing a little thing there for her team.
Jordan Canada, Courtney Paris into the basketball game, replacing Sue Bird, Natasha Howard. And Canada to do the honors. Here's Jewel, 16 on the shot clock. She'll walk it back out. One-on-one, quickness advantage. Pulls up from three again and splashes it home. The Mamba has 14 on 5 of 5.
Well, 4 of 4 from 3. I mean, she is absolutely, the basket right now to her looks like the ocean.
There's a big drive by Asia Wilson. Goes right around Courtney Paris. Fans wanted a clean strip, but no, says Tom Allen. That's a foul. So Asia Wilson to the free throw line. Had 27 against Seattle on Sunday, showing her wares very early, averaging 19 points and 8 rebounds. And she really looks the part, Elise, of one of the next great bigs in this league. And we have so many good ones right now. We have more great bigs in this league than we've ever had in the league's history.
It's pretty remarkable what we're seeing with Cam Beige coming back in the league at 6'8", but you've got Brittany Griner at 6'9", Sylvia Fowles at 6'6". These aren't just bigs that are doing well. These are 3 of the best players, especially Griner and Fowles, 2 of the top MVP candidates in the league.
Joel testing it again. And why not? 6 for 6 and 5 of 5 from 3. And she has tied the record for most points in a quarter by a Seattle Storm, trying to break the record here. No. Oh my goodness. That would have been for 20. Courtney Paris with the rebound, keeping it alive. Give it back to Jewel. Here's Canada with a 3. That one's well short. Paris again the rebound. Back to Jewel. She needs 1 point to break Betty Lennox's record for most points in a quarter. Here's Clark for 3. Seattle just flinging away and getting offensive rebound after offensive rebound. It is 34-10.
Yeah, they are absolutely putting on a whooping right now and already over their record for points in a quarter this season.
Here's Canada on the push, behind the back dribble. Going into the lane, what a beautiful move. Tipped in by Brianna Stewart, but a foul ahead of time. 1:43 left. Seattle's on pace to put up about $145 in this game.
Well, right here, going up, look at Stewie. Stewie was above the rim. If they would not have called that foul, it would have been an easy bucket for her. Almost a tip jam for Stewie.
Well, this is the most impressive quarter of offensive basketball that I've seen. Now, the record for Seattle is 40, and that came back in August of 2007. And they still have time. I mean, there's still $1:43 left to go.
They got a lot of time.
Canada knocks them both down. Seattle at 13 of 19 from the field, 8 of 11 from three-point range. They hit 12 on Sunday against this team. So they have hit 23s in 5 quarters against Vegas. Here's Young with it. Laying it up a little strong. Carolyn Swords, the former Storm player, has the rebound, and a nice job by Courtney Paris snatching it away. And we got a jump ball between Paris and Swords. This looks like, in football, you have the 7-on-7 skeleton drill. I mean, that's what Seattle's offense looks like, right? There's like no pass rush. It's just drop back and chuck it around.
They've right now made the Vegas defense look non-existent.
Here's Lloyd with it, looking for the record. Hands off to Stewie. Stewie retraces her steps. Lloyd cuts through, now gets it to Canada. Canada drives in, 13 on the shot clock. Spin move on Plum, gets stripped of the basketball. It'll be Seattle ball off of Kelsey.
The old Pac-12 rivalry, UCLA versus UW. Those
they've gone head-to-head a couple times.
2 went head-to-head for 3 years. This is 1 year older.
She'll rise, fire, and hits. Brianna Stewart gives Seattle 38 for the quarter, now 2 away from the all-time franchise record.
Did I say the Storm would like a fast start to put this Vegas team at 0-3 away?
You got it.
I mean, you talk about coming out and saying, how much do you really want to battle out of a hole? It's 38-12.
Plum now to Young against Paris. Loses handle of the basketball, and the wheels just falling off the Bill Lane beer train right now.
Yeah, this is not pretty. This team has struggled. We've had back-to-back #1 overall picks in Kelsey Plum last year and Asia Wilson this year. And they expected to be better. And they've played, you mentioned, it's been a tough schedule. They've got these 3 games under their belt. That's it. And they've been close losses. A 5-point loss at Washington, who's 4-1. He lost just 1 time this season, and that's to Seattle.
Here's Young picking off the pass from Mosqueda Lewis. Will cruise in for the layup. At the pace Seattle's playing, though, they could get 2 more possessions this quarter. Harris to Canada. Canada will slow the tempo down for once. In a very, very quick tempo. A lot of possessions. Seattle's taking 20 shots in this quarter. Here's Canada. Back to Mosqueda Lewis. 5 on the shot clock. Skip a pass to Stewie. Stewie for 3, and the record in and out. Oh, that would have been it. That would have been a 41-point quarter. Young's got it with 2 seconds, with 1, and that is a very fitting end to a disaster of a quarter for the Las Vegas Aces, and about as impressive a quarter as you will ever see offensively. Seattle goes 14 of 21 from the field. They hit 8 3-pointers, and they lead by 24. Hey, calling all basketball players between the ages of 6 and 17. I've got a couple of those, so do you.
Absolutely.
Join us this summer at Storm Fit Basketball Camp, presented by QBSI and Kaiser Permanente, August 14th through 17th. Hidden Valley Fieldhouse in Bellevue. To register, visit stormbasketball.com/StormFit. Well, that young lady, actually both of those young ladies had pretty darn good quarters, but Jewel Lloyd, 6 of 7, 5 of 6 from 3-point range, and a team record 17 points. Most points, tied for the most points ever scored in a quarter with Betty Lennox.
We remember how Betty used to get heated up.
Yeah.
Part of that championship team. One of the 2 championships here in 2004-2010.
Young pull-up jump shot short. Here comes Mosqueda Lewis the other way. So Mosqueda Lewis, Harris, Canada, Howard, and Whitcomb in the game. Only 1 starter, that being Howard. Here's Canada. Mosqueda Lewis pull up, far off to the right. Whitcomb running after it and touching it before it went out of bounds.
Interesting stat for Seattle in that they are a very good field goal percentage shooting team. They're number 3 in the 12-team league. They're also right up there among the top 3 in offensive rebounding, which is not usually the case. Usually when you're a good offensive rebounding team, you don't shoot a high percentage.
Yeah, you get lots of opportunities,
That's
right?
correct. And yet so far, it's really a testament to their hustle on that offensive. And that was a perfect example for Sammy Whitcomb, just hustling it after it and getting another possession.
Illegal screen. Offensive foul on Courtney Paris will go the other way. And Seattle now with, it's just their 2nd turnover, as you might imagine, a highly efficient first quarter of play. Here's Young, high post now to Swords. Swords now the backdoor cut, shot blocked by Natasha Howard.
I don't know who that foul is on, but Natasha Howard is going to erase it. That's one of those that's unfortunate. Courtney Paris rotating over. They said they got her on the head right there. Natasha Howard had some bad intentions when she was coming over there. She was ready to send that about 2 rows deep.
Well, at least Seattle made a roster move yesterday, and they brought aboard a very, very talented young lady who had a very good career, albeit an injury-riddled career at Tennessee, Mercedes Russell. And she was a 2nd-round pick of the New York Liberty this past season, but went on to waivers, and Dan Hughes said, let's take a shot. She's very skilled.
Yeah, this is such a tough league to get into as a rookie, but 6'6" Mercedes Russell out of Oregon. They have 2 Oregonians on their roster, so I bet she has some fans in the house here in Key Arena that made the 4.5-hour drive up I-5, but had a really good career down in the SEC at Tennessee. and actually in the tournament got eliminated by the Oregon State Beavers. So here she is in Seattle.
Sammy Whitcomb in and out with the quick catch and release. 8:46 left to go in the second quarter. Seattle yet to score here in the quarter. Mosqueda Lewis bump and foul. So
pretty remarkable, don't you think, to go to the waiver wire and pick up a 6'6" player that was all SEC and was, projected by many throughout her senior season to be a first-round draft pick. These are the kind of players that just have to find the right spot. She's got tremendous upside with her physical ability. One
of the great bigs in the history of Tennessee basketball, and Tennessee has had some great players. 1,500 points, 1,000 rebounds from Mercedes Russell. Rebound taken down by Howard. Here comes Canada. Skip to the corner, Mosqueda Lewis. Gets the ball stripped out of her hands, but a foul. It's going to go on Tamara Young as Noelle Quinn's going to check in. Good to see Quinny back from injury. Dealing with the knee and
has not played a minute yet this season. Has been trying to rehab back with some knee pain and knee injuries, and a backup point guard who had really good minutes last year in place of Sue Bird. Finally able to get on the floor.
You're right, she did a nice job. She had a 3.5 to 1 assist to turnover ratio last year. I mean, she was really solid. Here's Canada with it, and she strokes it with the quick jumper from 3. 41-16 Seattle.
And you love that from Jordan Canada. You know she's got speed, you know she can penetrate and get in the lane, but that three-point shot will be a difference maker.
Ooh, Mercedes Russell, the first block shot of her WNBA career. She challenges the next one, but it goes down. Give her a little confidence, won't it?
Absolutely.
Here's Canada. A little flat on that shot. Back iron. Snatched down. Here comes De'Erica Hamby with it. Now to Allen. Young far side against Mosqueda Lewis. Snap it back to Hamby. Think about a three, and then she'll throw it right to Jordan Canada. Pick you clean, go to the rim, and get fouled.
And her defense creating that offense. So you go from not giving up 2 on the other, and look at this anticipation, just going right through the passing lane and then not shying away from contact. She knows that Hamby's coming after her, and you generally will get fouled the hardest after you pick somebody in the open court.
Because they're angry.
They're frustrated, they're angry, they just did something bad, and here they come making sure you're not going to do anything and having a little bit of extra sass in their foul. But she went right up and challenged Hamby and gets to the free throw line.
Asia Wilson, Kayla McBride, some offensive firepower back in the game for Las Vegas. 42-18. Boy, just kind of shake your head looking up at that scoreboard. But shake your head in a good way if you're a Seattle Storm fan. 25-point advantage. We still got tons of time here in the second. Lindsay Allen against Canada. Big screen up top by Wilson. Allen's going to go in, skip it back to Wilson. Canada on the mismatch there. Here's Young around a screen. Howard right there to get the catch and forces the bad shot. Nice job by Natasha Howard on the rotation. Here's Canada. Hesitates. Jitterbug dribble. Now into Howard. Beautiful playmaking ability. Boy, that was Sue Bird-esque right there.
That was really good. Dribble penetration, kept her eyes up, and somehow found the sliver to get that over to Howard. And a nice finish by Howard. She has just been right place, right time this season.
Ball tapped out of bounds. Mosqueda Lewis got it first, and then Mercedes Russell tipped it out of bounds. Just a great feed there from Jordan Canada.
And the one thing Natasha Howard does is she drops to the level of the ball. She's not behind Canada. Once she penetrates by her, she gets to the open spot with her hands up.
One-handed rebound by Wilson, and then Russell goes high, gets that rebound. There's Canada with it. Over to Noelle Quinn. Shake and bake move. Now to Mosqueda Lewis. 13 on the shot clock. 6:26 on the game clock here in the second.
Now this has been great minutes for Seattle's bench. Howard, the only starter.
No look pass. Oh, missing the layup is Mercedes Russell. That was a great feed.
And I like the fact that after Russell missed the bunny down low, she sprinted back on defense, didn't give up a lane, didn't hang her head.
And Russell there on defense. She's been active down there, hasn't she?
Yeah, it's got to be a shock to the system. You get cut, trying to start your professional career, you get shipped out and then picked up by the Seattle Storm, and then just one day later, you're out here playing. I mean, on offense, I don't know how much Mercedes Russell has any concept of what Seattle's trying to do other than, hey, you're a big. Go to the block, get your hands up, finish down low.
Be tall. There's Asia Wilson, little fade away, and hacked in the act. She'll go to the free throw line on the 6:02 mark. Wilson with a double-double in her first WNBA game, only the 15th player ever to accomplish that. Fouls on Howard. That's her second. Brianna will check in after this timeout and this free throw. She'll replace Howard. Wilson, a national champion. Got a lot of national championship pedigree on the floor now with Asia Wilson and Brianna Stewart and Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis. There's quite a few rings floating around out there right now.
To make this league, you just have to be so special with only 12 teams in the world, and they draw talent from everywhere.
Mosqueda-Lewis with confidence. She stepped back and just flung that up like she wasn't even thinking about it, and those are the ones that go down for her.
Well, she was another player last year that really battled injuries and didn't get the minutes that she needed to get going. Well, so far, she is shooting the ball really well. Came into this game 5 of 8 from the three-point line, so now 6 of 9. You love that. You're always going to find room to put a shooter on the floor.
28-point drubbing right now for Seattle. Hey fans, join us Sunday, June 10th, 4 o'clock start. Pause in the Paint Night, presented by Lagunitas and Urban Animal. It's the first and only game this year where you can bring your dog and watch as your Storm take on the Atlanta Dream right here on Carter Subaru Porta Key Arena. Secure your seats at stormbasketball.com. Well, this is far from the dog. From a Storm perspective, it is the dictionary definition of a dog if you're Bill Laimbeer right now. We got a whistle and a foul.
I just want you to look at the time and score. And just really, there's 48 points on the board with 5.5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Seattle hit 12 threes against Vegas last meeting on Sunday. They have hit 10 threes already in the first half today.
I mean, I'm just wondering, like, I'm always about extrapolating to see, okay, now what's the final score?
Right.
What are we going to see?
I don't think we're getting to 200, but...
well, they wouldn't be on pace for 200.
No.
However, I mean, you're looking at, they scored 105 when these teams met in Vegas last week.
Oh, so it would be hard for them not to get to 105.
Are they going to continue to put that pedal down?
Right. Ball knocked free. Mosqueda-Lewis gets it back over to Brianna Stewart. Stewie, now to Mosqueda-Lewis. Pump fakes. She'll step into a 15-footer and knock it down. Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis has not missed the three in her last 3 basketball games, shooting over 50% for the season. Here's Young with up and under, no good, tipped around, and it's Mosqueda-Lewis starting the break. Seattle starter's going to come in at the next dead ball. Quinn with it. Big screen from Russell. Stewie now. Back to Quinn. 8 seconds on the shot clock for Canada. Russell sets the pick. Canada high arcing 3, and she's fouled and will go to the line.
And that's the one that's going to drive you nuts as a coach. The shot clock winding down. Jordan Canada with a low percentage look, falling away at the three-point line. Asia Wilson, as a rookie, you just have to know your presence at 6'4" is enough on the 5'6" Canada to disrupt at the three-point line.
Yep.
No need to hammer.
No good on the first attempt. We'll wait one more attempt, and then the starting 5 will come back in. At least a good portion of it. That one goes down. So Lloyd, Howard, Clark back in at this point. Sue Bird will replace the shooter here.
It's good minutes from their bench. It did not drop off when the starters went out. And when you build up a big lead like this, there's some hesitation as a coach because it's going so good. Don't disrupt the momentum. Don't disrupt the flow. But Dan Hughes sticking with his rotation, and it paid dividends. He got his starters some rest on the bench and the bench to get on the floor and get some much-needed experience.
Hamby, the power layup, offensive rebound, put back, no good. And going to the free throw line will be Nia Coffey. Biggest lead of the game at 30 here for Seattle. And Sue Bird will come back into the ball game.
Well, I think something to watch. Jewel Lloyd, red hot, 17 points in the first quarter. Now she had some time on the bench, got some water, got some rest. We'll see if she can continue that hot pace. She's already made 5 threes in this game. It's a career high. She'd hit 2 different games where she had 4 threes. Never hit 5 until the first quarter of today's game.
Asia Wilson back in for Vegas as well. Shot missed, and Brianna Stewart comes down with rebound number 4 for her. Stewie back to Sue. Big screen on Plum. Sue Loomis handles it, but it's knocked out of bounds by Coffey. It'll be Seattle basketball. .12 on the shot clock, 4:10 on the game clock here as Stewie to inbound. High post Howard. Sue trying to direct traffic, telling Howard where to go with it. Shot clock rolling down. Here's Lloyd with 3 on the clock. Loses it out of bounds. It'll be Vegas basketball. Turnover number 4.
And even if she would have retained it, there was only 2 seconds on the shot clock. So one of the rare poor possessions for Seattle's offense in this game.
Howard out of the game, playing with 3 fouls. Give her a breather. Wilson up top. 3:47 left to go in the game clock here in the second. Driving in on Stewie. Contact and a blocking foul. And those are really the type plays in a game like this. You know, a lot of times when you get a game that's kind of out of hand, there's a lot more free-flowing, a lot more wheeling and dealing, freelancing, and you get collisions and you get some weird things that go on in games like this, and you just got to keep your fingers crossed that everybody on both sides makes it out of this particularly uncompetitive game healthy.
Well, Alicia Clark sacrificing her body, knowing the exact spot where she needed to get to, but she missed it just by a touch. She was still getting in her spot when Wilson made contact with her. At 6'4", she's a natural lefty. You don't want to let her drive with her left. She just is so quick and overpowering with it. You got to force her to go right, but that was the right call. It definitely was a block because Clark missed it by just a hair.
Sue yo-yoing the dribble out top. Now inside Brianna Stewart. Moves it off her knee, and Seattle's getting sloppy now. Actually, the starting group's been sloppier than the bench group was here in the second quarter. Las Vegas, as Elise mentioned in the outset, leads the WNBA in points at the free throw line, and they're doing it again today. 12 of their 24 at the stripe. They've only made 6 field goals. Make it 7. Tamara Young with that basket.
Now they force you to be disciplined defensively. When they go by you, you can't reach. They're going to exaggerate the contact. They're strong, they're physical, they're looking to draw that foul.
Here's Clark, far side Sue, getting into Brianna Stewart. Gets hammered. Got a knee almost to the ear by Kayla McBride, I believe it was. Yes, it was. 2:57 left to go in the second quarter. All Seattle doubling up the aces. Let's double down, shall we? 52-26. Hey fans, individual VIP courtside experience packages are now available. This includes courtside seats, parking, concession, team shop vouchers, free water, snacks, and a post-game autograph pass. For more information, visit stormbasketball.com. There you are. That was the Storm brass right there. That was the big wigs right there that did this show. 2:57 left to go in the second quarter. 52-26. Here's Jewel Lloyd with it. Been quiet this quarter, but she was noisy in the first. 17 points noisy. Paris kicked back out to Stewie. Sue with an NBA 3. No good. Snatched down by Tamara Young. Here's Plum. She's been very quiet tonight. Got 1 point. No field goals. No field goals even attempted. Shot blocked by Paris. Wilson went right up into the body. Here's Stewie with it. Sue gets a Brianna screen, goes right to left, flings it back to Brianna. Off balance, put it up and in. And Brianna Stewart will go to the free throw line for the and one, and she is in double figures with 10 points.
Well, and that's just creativity. Right here, she feels the contact. She gets drilled there. Has to go off the wrong foot, fading away off glass. It's not like that's a shot you practice here. Take a hit.
The old goofy foot
and
shot?
Then, I mean, it's just her ability to be creative and finish.
Back to 29 with the lead. Kelsey loses handle of the basketball, kicked away by Sue. It's Husky night here, as you might imagine. They had the Husky Pup Squad with Kelsey Plum in the building. A lot of purple t-shirts in the building tonight. And congratulations to Gabby Plain and the Husky softball team today for a 2-zip victory.
What a game.
First game of the College World Series over Oklahoma.
Two-time defending champ. They took him out.
Yes.
Shut him out.
Yeah, shut him out.
What a win. Congratulations to Heather Tarr and that squad.
Got a little scary there in the 7th, but they got it done.
Well, now they face their rival, University of Oregon, tomorrow.
Great feed inside. Stewart to Courtney Paris. Yeah, Oregon swept them earlier this year. So let's see if the Dogs can come back and get a little revenge on the Duckies. Coffey hands off to McBride and an offensive foul. Bodies all over the deck.
There has been a lot of those already in this game. There is at least 3 where multiple players have hit the deck and gotten up gingerly.
Season high for points and a half, as you might imagine. We have reached it with 1:38 left to go.
57.
The team record is 61, so we got a shot here, Elise. Got a shot. And they haven't even put up that many points in the second quarter. They had 38 at the end of the first. Here's Sue with it. 14 on the shot clock. Kicking it to Lloyd. Lloyd looking for her first point of the quarter. Off the back iron. Snatched down by Wilson. Young into the corner. McBride wide open. No good. She won't miss many of those.
Absolutely not. You better get back in defense and find where she is. She's the one player that can really get hot from deep.
Stewie backing in on Hamby. Fade away off the front iron. Boy, Paris has been everywhere tonight down there. Nearly throws it away, but saved by Stewart. Courtney Paris with 4 rebounds in limited action, just 6 minutes. That's a nice rebound per minute average right there.
She's just so strong, those hands. If the ball is anywhere near her, she secures it and you're not knocking it away from her. And she grabs it and she pivots and you just get back on defense.
Timeout on the floor, 47 seconds left to go in the first half. Storm looking for 4 more points so they can tie their franchise record for points in a game. 57-28 our score. Seattle shooting 59%.
You got to wait for the playoffs before
that's true. That's true.
This is a whooping coming back at you.
That was back in that was the David Locke era.
It was.
Old school.
Sacramento in the playoffs.
Is that when it was?
I remember it fondly. Sitting right here.
Yep. Here's Jewel going up for 3, and they will give her 3 shots with 3 on the shot clock. Nice design there out of the timeout.
That's good execution. Look, right now with this score, it is not one that anybody is going to remember except for Dan Hughes and his team out of a timeout. Those are the kind of things that you're late in the game and you have a sideline out of bounds and you got to get a 3 with just a couple of seconds left. Hey, this is what we did to get Jewel Lloyd a good look at a 3 and to get fouled. Those are the kind of things that you bank when the score is like this.
Do I dare read this about Jewel Lloyd's free throw shooting?
When she's done.
When she's done. That sounds good. Jewel Lloyd has now made 31 free throws in a row. That's how you handle those.
She missed the very first free throw of the season.
Yes, and made 31 in a row.
And now she's made 31 in a row. And I said, oh, wow, rare miss. She's a 90% free throw shooter, and she's proven me right.
And she's gone over 20 points 5 games in a row. The all-time Storm record is 8 in a row by a lady that used to wear number 15. Lauren Jackson.
Which is interesting because Brianna Stewart has the franchise record for 20-point games in a season.
Right, but didn't do them in a row. Didn't get 8 in a row. Here's Sue with it. They need a bucket for the record. No, short. Tipped around. They were 1 bucket short of the record in the first quarter, too. Now they're 1 bucket short of the halftime record. 2 seconds left, spinning like a whirling dervish as Lindsay Allen. She scores. And that's about all that went well for the Las Vegas Aces in the first half. What a half of basketball for the Seattle Storm. A++ on offense and on defense. 60-32 is our score. Seattle shooting 57% from the field. Absolutely unbelievable, holding Vegas to just 36. We'll see what Seattle can put together in the second half. I can't even imagine what that guy had to say to his team in the locker room. It wasn't really an effort issue with them. It was just sloppiness and Seattle playing.
Well, I just think
basketball.
When you shoot the ball as well as Seattle shot the ball, the other team looks really poor. They shot 57%. They made 10 of 16 threes, and a lot of them were with a hand in their face and guarded. Jewel Lloyd was just out of this world. So, I mean, from some of that, it's just you ran into a buzzsaw in the first half.
Kelsey Bone starts it off with a turnover. That is 9 for the game, which actually is less than you might imagine they would have, considering.
Well, that's what they didn't turn the ball over that much. I think you're right. They missed some shots. Seattle made their shots. Sometimes it's just as simple as that.
Clark up top with it to Jewel Lloyd. How long will the starters go tonight? There's Clark trying to save it, and there's a sloppy first possession for Seattle. Coffey has it, bowling over Alicia Clark. Ooh, a blocking foul. Alicia is so good at getting in front and getting set that I'm surprised she wasn't given the benefit of the doubt on that, because officials know that Alicia's good at getting set for charges.
Well, and I'm just wondering, she wasn't set, but watch right here. Okay, she's moving, and she is still moving. I mean, I do think the order of the law, unless the shoulder was dropped, which it wasn't, she was trying to U her around her, but, you know, Alicia Clark's a hustler. She's going to try to pick up that call, but her feet were still moving. That's a block.
Howard on the D on Wilson. Here's Allen, jab steps and then fires, no good. Allen's 3-ball has not been close thus far today. All 3 have been badly missed, and all 3 off to the left. Here's Howard working inside on Wilson. Flip it up and good, and that's over a very long, very tough defender in there.
I tell you, Natasha Howard has just filled exactly what the Storm needed.
Here's Bone inside to Wilson. Howard is there, and Wilson scores on her. So tit for tat there the last 2 possessions.
Asia Wilson, a true 6'4", left-handed, strong. There's a really good reason why she was the #1 overall pick.
Bird straight through to Natasha Howard, but ripped away. Nicely done there by Vegas.
Yeah, quick hands.
Coffey with the hands there. And we got an offensive foul the other way. Is it going to go on Kelsey Bone? Yes, it is. She didn't like the call.
Oh, the reaction from Kelsey Bone. Like, she just could not believe it. I mean, she's just incredulous. Like, what are you talking about? I did not see it. I just saw Brianna Stewart go flying. And I'm sure the officials saw the same thing. Now, whether or not she really pushed her, we'll have to go back and look at the replay.
Lloyd double teamed and fouled at the 8:20 mark. 12 on the shot clock. They'll reset it to 14 here for Seattle.
I mean, she did come flying through the lane. She's like, well, it's not my fault that she's not strong enough when I lower my shoulder coming through the lane.
Sue against McBride. Now Lloyd, McBride's former teammate at Notre Dame. Takes it back to Bird. Here's Stewie, toes the line. Looks good, is good. Brianna Stewart makes it 65-34, one off the biggest lead of the game, which was 32.
Yeah, Brianna Stewart needed that 3 to go down. I mean, she started this season 4 of 22. That's just her 5th made 3 of the season. And she's an excellent 3-point shooter.
McBride has it, hounded by Howard. Hook pass Bone to Wilson, and it goes down. Asia Wilson she's going to end up with a nice stat line tonight. She's got 15 on 5 of 9 thus far, and McBride goes down. Offensive foul. Seattle on
A
Howard.
screen away from the ball by Natasha Howard, and again, you have to be set. There's an open court one where she tried to get her feet there, and
That's 4 on Howard, so she'll take a seat. Courtney Paris comes into the ballgame.
yeah, which is unfortunate because Natasha Howard just provides so much energy and has really filled in nicely. Crystal Langhorne has been so consistent and so good. That pick and roll with Sue Bird, 65% last year, but in her absence with that rib injury, Natasha Howard stepped up.
That was pretty. Around the screen comes Kayla McBride. She just snaps that one off. 65-39 our score.
You can tell San Antonio probably heard some strong words at halftime, and Seattle was up by nearly 30.
Oh, nicely done there. Bird to Brianna Stewart. Stewie's got 16. Sue with 7 assists.
Yeah, beautiful play between the two.
And coasting into the lane as Coffey puts it up and in.
San Antonio looks much smoother offensively to start this third quarter.
There's Lloyd with a step back over the long arm of the law there. Tipped out of bounds.
Yeah, tough take by Lloyd. They come away with another possession, though, on that O board. Look at this. Just the defense leaving and the weak side rotation not there anywhere in time to slow down Brianna Stewart. When she's 6'4" with a reach of 7'1", and she gets the ball, gathers herself, it's not like you're going to block that shot. I mean, probably the only player in the league that could even alter it would be Brittany Griner.
Here's a little nugget for you. Craig Hayamoto, our statistician, will like this one. Another assist from Sue to Courtney Paris. That's 8. Sue Bird has more assists tonight than she has turnovers on the season.
She is just continuing to play at such a high level. I know people think that, okay, this is what Sue Bird does. She's the oldest player in the league, and you have no idea looking at this. Doesn't look her age. Her body looks great. She has great athleticism still, and just her smarts. I mean, this pick and roll, the last 2 possessions just run to perfection. Just call it on a dime for a reason.
We get another assist? Yes, indeed. How about 9 assists for Sue? How about 19 points? And with 1 more assist, she'll have twice as many assists tonight than she has turnovers on the season.
And I just love when she throws a pass and she puts her hands in the air before the ball's even released.
She had the 3 goggles up, didn't she?
Brianna, here you go. And she just starts jogging back, hands in the air. She knew it.
Boy, Vegas is, they're well on their way. Great pass there. Vegas well on their way to allowing 100 or more points in 3 of the first 4 games that they play. Here's Wilson driving in. She's got game.
You cannot allow her to go with her strong left hand. She will finish every time.
Clark to Stewie. Fakes right, goes left. Back to Sue. She'll test her hand at a 3. And why not, shall we? She's like, give me a little something, something. I've been giving you guys basketballs all night long.
She's got some new shoes on today. I haven't seen these kicks before.
Maybe we'll get a close-up on the Sue kicks.
I would say they have been effective. They're working well for her.
Oh, there's the Mamba on the pick. She's going to the hole, gives it up, lay it up, and in. It's a 32-point lead, tied for the biggest of the game. Defense leading to offense. The number 1 overall pick in 15 to the number 1 overall pick in 16. Seattle at 32. Hey fans, looking for a great way to enjoy Storm basketball? The BECU Early Saver Zone gives fans discounted general admission tickets starting at just $10 for kids, $15 for adults. Visit stormbasketball.com/early saver for more information. It is a absolute masterpiece. It's a Picasso, it's a Da Vinci, it's a whatever you want to call it tonight for the Seattle Storm. 77-45. Coffey back iron. Stewart snaps it down. How long do you leave the starters in? This quarter, and then that's it?
I would probably say because you're still getting your bench. If you want to get them experience, it's been a weakness of this squad for years. This year it's been a strength, but absolutely get them a lot of run and save your starters' legs. This season is long.
Sue, another 3 on the way. Why not? Sue's hit her last 3 shots. And Seattle has already tied a franchise record, at least, for most threes in the game. And we have 14 minutes left.
What can she not do right now for this squad? By the way, she's got a 5 to less than 1 assist to turnover ratio so far this season. That's pretty good. 5 to 1. It's 31 to 5. I mean,
6 to 1. There's a lob pass inside. Courtney Paris gets great post position. So what are you seeing from the Vegas? I mean, we're talking about the offense of the Storm. Let's talk about the Vegas defense. Is it really just that dreadful right now?
I think it's lacked some closeout ability in this game. I do. I don't think they're playing with as much energy as Seattle, and that's hurt them. Things are so small. The differences may seem small, but they add up to giant things.
Because why is Seattle getting such frequent, amazing looks?
Their rotations have been super slow. And the weak side, that pick and roll 2 times in a row, one to Stewie and one to Courtney Paris. I mean, the weak side wasn't anywhere close.
Lloyd hangs one up, back iron. Here comes McBride the other way. Lindsay Allen with 3 and change left in the quarter. She'll drive in and lay it up with the left hand.
And that's what Seattle has done to Vegas, where they're not quite set defensively. They push tempo, and they just got easy looks.
Stewie fakes the 3. Back to Clark. Here's Lloyd. Brianna, high release. What are you going to do against that? Brianna Stewart with 21 on 9 of 12.
And what I love about that is Stewie could have handed it to Jewel Lloyd. She didn't. She turned around, fired it, made a jumper. Jewel Lloyd went up to her and gave her a high five and said, great shot. It's 2 superstars who score a lot of points, who give the ball to one another.
2:27 left. We might mark that as the time when we don't see Sue Bird and Jewel Lloyd and Brianna Stewart anymore.
Well, they've got 84 points on the board with 2:27 in the third. This is already matching or exceeding 2 games this season.
Well, they only need 27 more points for their franchise record in points, which is
Let's go ahead and
111.
get it.
Well, they should, don't you think? They got 12:27 left.
I'm here to be
to
entertained.
get 27 points.
111, that's the magic number?
That's the magic number. Oh, block shot, Mercedes Russell again. That's 2 on the game.
And I think the development of this game, ultimately what matters is you walk away with a win. It doesn't matter if you win by 20, 30, or 2, you need a win. But this is a development that could pay huge dividends. A 6'6" presence off the bench that you can bring in on those matchups where it makes sense to rebound and block shots. I mean, they may have just gotten an absolute gift on the waiver wire.
84-51, Canada with it up top. 2:06 left. Wilson with 21 on that last shot. Feeds a little wide from Whitcomb to Russell. Allen the bounce pass. Do we get another block for Russell? No, but it was an altered shot from Russell. And here comes Mosqueda Lewis. You hear the footsteps, don't you?
Absolutely.
Russell behind you.
Yeah, that was a great hustle play by the rookie.
Canada gets whacked in the schnoz. Maybe in the eye. Jamie Nard coming back in to the basketball game. Played sparingly in the first quarter. Kelsey Bone in as well.
And Jamie Nard, a teammate of Mercedes Russell down at Tennessee. Both started their high school careers in Oregon.
And her father, Greg, coached the UW women's team. Assistant coach for a while. Here's Paris.
So did her older sister.
As the defense falls down there. That's kind of it. If you just had this game in a nutshell, it would be a Vegas ace falling down and Courtney Paris just walking around for a layup. That's how the defense has been for Las Vegas tonight. Bone to Nard. There's Allen. She's really struggled from behind the arc. This one fails to go, although that one is the closest that she's had. She's 0 for 4. Here's Canada blowing by Young. Probably should have gone up with it. She had a layup opportunity there.
And again, that weak side defense, you're right. They weren't there. She could have had a lay-in. They were so late rotating that they knocked the pass away.
Kelsey Plum back into the game. So far, Kelsey tonight in 12 minutes has 1 point, a rebound, and an assist. She does not have a field goal attempt as of yet. And our starting center, Park, is back in the game. She played 5 minutes, and we hadn't seen her since until now. She gets a look at an 18-footer. That one's no good. Russell, let's see some stats we can pad tonight for Mercedes Russell. Get some boards and some blocks. She's going to get a lot of time. Posting up. Good feed to Mosqueda Lewis. There's an assist for Russell. She's got a nice feel for things.
Yeah, she's a smart interior player. She's not one of those that's just a big body. She can move the basketball on the pass.
Now on Russell, she goes up. Probably didn't need to leave her feet on that one. She should have just stayed up, and she probably would have gotten the block shot because Nard really had no place to go on the left side.
Second, under 2 minutes.
So Jamie Nard to the free throw line. Nard is, Elise mentioned, teammates with Russell at Tennessee, all SEC this past season.
Was the Oregon State Player of the Year back in the day?
Springfield.
No, that was Mercedes. Mercedes Russell was Springfield. Jamie Nard was, I believe, Beaverton.
Oh, okay.
Westview.
Yes.
There in the Portland area.
53 our score. 35 points. The biggest lead's 37. Here's Canada. She'll kick it out, Mosqueda Lewis. Quick trigger three, and she is shooting with so much confidence. 3 for 3 in her last game, 2 for 2 today. And Seattle has snapped the all-time record for most threes in a ball game with 15. And here's Park at the buzzer, gets it to go for her first basket. That should count. 91-55 will be our score as we go to the fourth. Do we have a foul as well? Oh, on the shot.
We'll look to see if it counts, but there should be a free throw coming.
91-55, all Seattle. 10 minutes left to go. So there was a foul on the shot, so we got the and one for the end of the quarter. So now we'll have ourselves really the end of the third quarter break with Seattle leading 91-55. I'm not sure why I think they reviewed it and then they went back to the free throw line. Storm basketball is presented tonight by Swedish, the official medical care team of the Seattle Storm. Extraordinary care, extraordinary caring.
Gonna have this year. They have been going so hard since that first game here against Phoenix. As I've said, this is their 6th game already.
Yeah. So
just a chance to give their starters a rest for a quarter is going to pay huge dividends.
Jordan Canada to start things off against Kelsey Plum. Pac-12 on Pac-12. Mosqueda Lewis now to Courtney Paris. Working on Bone. 3 versus 3. Gets rid of it to Whitcomb. 4 in the shot clock. Nice pass to Paris. Shot block. Whitcomb's got to get it off. She does at the buzzer and hits. That's one thing Sammy can do. She can get a shot off quickly, can't she?
In about 0.01 seconds. Ball hits her hand and she gets it away.
Here's Plum with it. Dumping it low, Young on the smaller Whitcomb. Can't answer. Russell tries to hustle down the rebound, and it's tipped out of bounds by Park. It'll be Seattle basketball. I made mention of Park earlier today that she played on her FIBA South Korean team at the age of 13, averaged 9 and 8. 2 years later, she played as a 15-year-old against international competition and averaged 19 and 13 as a 15-year-old. Here's Mosqueda Lewis. Good look at a three, and she's just not missing, period. 4 of 4 from three-point range. It extends the Storm season record, Storm all-time record for most threes made in a game with 16. And that also ties, Elise, the WNBA record for threes in a game, set 5 times. So we've got 8:53 left to make 1 3-point to set the all-time record.
It's really 16?
Yeah, you'd think it'd be more than that, but it's been done 5 times.
It feels like Diana Taurasi's done that by herself in a game. I mean, that really is. I would imagine it would have been 20.
Plum mishandles the basketball on a high pass, and it goes out of bounds. This is just a nice breather for Seattle after playing some close basketball games. Canada walks it up. She's got the quickness advantage over Plum. Gets herself free, knocks it home, but we got a foul.
Yeah, moving screen, Mercedes Russell. Kelsey Plum went behind the screen against Jordan Canada, and Mercedes Russell just rolled right into her and eclipsed her, essentially. She's about a foot taller than her, but she was moving, and she moved Kelsey at the same time.
Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis, by the way, that last three, she's now made her last 7 in a row. And that's going to go on Sammy Whitcomb, bumping Jamie Nard downstairs.
A tough one, just trying to hold her ground, and Nard strong, just kept pushing on her, and Sammy Whitcomb gets the foul because defensively she has to leave room for the offensive player to flow.
Bone way strong on that one. Offensive rebound by Young. 12 on the shot clock. Here's Nard driving in against Paris. Shot altered. Nard gets it again, puts it back up and in. 96-57. Here's Mosqueda-Lewis again. Still plenty of firepower on this Storm bench here. I mean, Canada can score. Mosqueda-Lewis certainly can hit threes. So can Whitcomb. And here's Whitcomb getting it, testing her hand at one, and why not? Seattle's got 99. They are 17 of 23 from three-point range. That is 74%. And a foul on Seattle inside.
And as you mentioned, it's that all-time record in WNBA history. It's 17 made.
5 teams were tied at 16, and there is number 17 for Sammy Whitcomb.
And the crowd on their feet, they're loving this right now. They knew it was a record. Storm does such a nice job.
They do. They announced it when they hit 16. They announced it to the crowd that it was the record, and there was Sammy Whitcomb to knock down number 17.
Well, they still have 7.5 minutes to go.
They could put a pretty unbreakable mark up there. You start breaking the record by, 15, 20%.
You got Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis and Sammy Whitcomb on the floor. And they just announced it in the crowd, and you see the reaction. You can hear it as well. The fans very excited to witness a little history.
Win. Here's Whitcomb with it. And why not Whitcomb do it? Because she was part of that record-breaking three-point affair against Bill Laimbeer last year. He's probably tired of seeing Sammy. Here's Young driving in, scooping it up, no good. Rebound Quinn. Get it up to Sammy. She does. Bounce pass. Little too low, not to handle for Mosqueda-Lewis, and it goes out of bounds.
It was a great idea, just did not get it executed. The hustle was there. Sammy Whitcomb climbing the ladder up the sideline and tried to go cross court. Instead, it'll be Vegas ball. I almost said San Antonio.
Yeah, jerseys look very similar. They haven't changed the color scheme. Here's Young with it. Down the low block, stolen away. Seattle looking for a C note here with 6:39 left. Canada, crossover dribble, bounce pass, Russell, and there it is! Seattle over 100 for the second time against Las Vegas already in this young season.
Beautiful feed by Canada to her fellow rookie, Russell.
Hamby drives in, snatched down by Russell. She is really getting some stats now. Russell with a couple points, 4 rebounds, an assist, 2 block shots. And a bumping fouls, Canada goes down.
Penetration here and little pocket pass through the lane over to Russell, who's got those hands up and ready to finish. I'm telling you, the Seattle Storm organization right now is all smiles at what Mercedes Russell has been able to do.
Absolutely.
Literally signed yesterday off of the waiver wire and is playing like this.
And traveling violation on Quinn. And against some good players in there too. I mean, against Asia Wilson, against Kelsey Bone. I mean, there's some pretty solid bigs on this Las Vegas team.
Well, I think you just look how a player moves. You want to see first and foremost the athleticism. You know she's 6'6", but right now in her defensive position, ready. She's boxed out. She's got boards. She's rotated well defensively for some blocks. So First impression for Mercedes Russell is she can play in this league.
You got to talk about a confidence boost. I mean, she just got waived. And you got to think that her confidence was at an all-time low, and then to have a game like this, Mosqueda Lewis well short. Young with the rebound.
Yeah, it's exactly what you wanted, to have her believe she can play, see success. It looks like she could play a role this season on this year's team.
Here's Plum with it. Ooh, Whitcomb almost stole it. Bone flings it up, no good. Mercedes with the rebound.
Good rebound in traffic. Going up to get the ball, not waiting for it to come to her.
Canada with it. To Quinn. Hand off Whitcomb. See if Seattle can extend that three-point record they've set already, but not on this possession as Sammy is tripped up, goes down hard.
That's the one you put your leg out, knee in the thigh. That does not feel good.
101-60, all Seattle, the final five after this. There's Doppler, Seattle Children's, a proud sponsor of the Doppler Train, a key arena tradition. It's Seattle Children's mission to provide hope, care, and cures to help every child live the healthiest and most fulfilling life possible. A lot of happy train riders tonight as Seattle leads by 41.
Not often you get 100 points on the board with 5 minutes to go.
No. Seattle just 10 away from the all-time record. They're definitely on pace. 111 against Phoenix, and at least that was a triple overtime game as well. So they're undoubtedly going to have the most points in a regulation game. .435 left to go with Noelle Quinn topside. Gives it off Mosqueda Lewis, flings it up, no good. Her first miss. She had 7 straight threes.
Gosh.
Big collision right in front of us.
Oh, wow.
Coffey and Noelle Quinn with a huge collision there. And it looked like Coffey got the tough end of it, even though she was the person with the most momentum.
I mean, right there. I mean, oof. You're just glad both players got up after that. We have seen some collisions tonight. You know, Sue Bird in the last game took an elbow to her throat, and it was a flagrant 1 foul. She's back. She said, you know, I'm fine, but I'm just a little sore there, like I got a bruise. But, you know, in this game, we have seen at least 4 times where people have hit the deck and collisions, like it's a football game out there.
Well, a foul there on Mercedes Russell that nobody liked in the building.
That's so Sue Bird right
30
there.
feet from the basket. But they get to see their hometown hero make a free throw. Kelsey Plum still without a field goal. 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists in 18 minutes.
Yeah, I'd love to see her get going. She played really well over in Turkey, her team winning the championship in the offseason. Came back to Las Vegas late, so just 10 minutes in the first game, also against the Storm, and then they haven't played since then. So she's had some practice time. She's getting more time today. I'd love to see her get more attempts. Just they need to find the way to get her involved. She is absolutely a shooter that can compete with anybody in terms of filling it up when she gets hot. But you know, her attempts today, she just hasn't got a lot. She's got 1 field goal attempt in 19 minutes. You've got to find a way to get her involved in the offense. Bring the ball up, and then like they did with Jordan Canada, Seattle in the last, get her in the corner after that.
Right. Plum gives it off to Carolyn Swords. Kick back Coffey. Good defense by Mosqueda Lewis, forcing the tough shot, but it's knocked down.
And Kelsey Plum can be a distributor. She averaged, I think, 5 assists a game as a senior, but she had to learn to be a distributor. She's always been a scorer and a shooter. Like, play to her strengths.
Campbell around to Russell's screen, flings it up. That one's short. Here we come the other way with Coffey. 3:20 left to go in the ball game. She lays it up a little strong. Another rebound for Russell. So Russell now with 6 boards on the game.
And the Storm have been stuck on 101 for a long time.
Canada's got it. Yeah, they still need 10 more points to get that record. It's going to be tough now. Spin move by Quinn. Step through, get it up off the rim. No good. And Hamby's got it the other way. Rumbling to Coffey. There is Whitcomb to impede her progress. And rebound number 7 for Mercedes Russell. Canada takes some time off the clock.
I heard you say Mercedes. Here she comes to set this high pick.
A little pick and pop. There's the pick. There's the pop. A little long. Quinn's got it. She'll fling it back up. No good. Another offensive rebound. Try her hand at number 18, shall we? Oh, no.
3 cracks. I think that's the first time all game they missed 3 shots in a row.
Good feed inside to Nard, and it goes in. And that drops Seattle's field goal percentage down from 59% to 57%. Those 3 misses. I was hoping for a 60% game. Throwaway there as Whitcomb was curling and Canada thought she was popping. 151.
And that actually right now, that's a valuable thing in this game. They need to get on the same page because they're going to get minutes together, but it's been all Storm.
Do you have a dog, Elise?
I do not.
Oh, then, well, you're going to have to find somebody else's dog then to take the pause.
Somebody give me their dog for the day?
I can steal my mom and dad's dog. I can bring little Boots to the game. I can steal
my mom and dad's dog, but...
Yeah, maybe I'll bring Boots to the game on Sunday. Sunday, June 10th, 4 o'clock, Pause in the Paint Night, presented by Lagunitas and Urban Animal. It's the first and only game this year where you can bring your dog and watch as your Storm take on the Atlanta Dream right here on Carter Subaru Court at Key Arena. Secure your seats at stormbasketball.com. My parents' dog would freak out at a Storm game. I think a little too much activity going on.
You got a little bit too much going on to take care of a dog while you're working.
You need a real low-key dog to bring him to a sporting event, I think. One that's
you'd look good with a lap dog.
Pretty chill, you know, one that just likes to sleep a lot. 132 left in a 101-70 game. Seattle actually led by 43. It's been chopped down to 31 here in the last 6 or 7 minutes, a 12-0 run. Here's Quinn, fires away from 3, no good. Plum feeding Hamby inside. Nice fake, up and in. 101-72, the game is actually looking more respectable here with a 14-0 run.
Well, this is what Dan Hughes, this is all valuable time.
Right.
Look, they're out there, you're competing for minutes in the next game right now. The people coming off the bench, it's not like they're trying to lay down right now or they're taking it easy. They have things to prove.
Here's Russell, flip it up, no good. Seattle's been stuck on 1-on-1 for a long time. One with it.
The old Sonic days, chalupas.
Oh, yeah.
When you hit 100.
Taco Bell?
I think they already hit 100, so they're like, well, all right, we're good.
Yeah, we got our chalupas.
Fans will go home happy.
That's right. Quinn's got it with 30 seconds left to go. Clark guarding her. She'll fire away, get on the board. No, 0 for 5 for Noel. Can't find the range, but that's what happens when you haven't played the whole year. I mean, she's been injured. Hamby's got it going the other way. What's this, a 16-0 run now to close this thing out?
Well, Kelsey Plum's got 6 assists.
8 seconds left to go, and despite the 16-0 Aces run, it has been a royal flush of the Las Vegas Aces tonight. Storm win it, 101-74, their first 5-game winning streak in 6 years. Back to close it out after this.
Welcome back into Key Arena. It is a final. The Seattle Storm all over the Las Vegas Aces. The final score 101-74. A WNBA record set tonight for three-pointers made in a game. 17 of 26. So 17 makes more than any team in any game in the history of the league. 17 out of 26. They were led today by Breanna Stewart with 21 points. Shot the ball well. 9 of 12 from the floor for Breanna. Jewel Lloyd was red hot early. She had 17 points in the first quarter. Set the tone. Ended with 20 because there was a lot of minutes played off the bench. From the bench, some really good minutes off Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis. 13 points for her. And then the newest member of the Seattle Storm in 17 minutes today, Mercedes Russell, the rookie. 8 boards for her to go with 2 block shots. It was a dominating performance by the Seattle Storm. They are 5-1 this season with the win. They've won 5 in a row, and now they head out on the road. They'll be at Dallas on the 2nd and at LA on the 7th. Have a great night, everybody. The Storm win.